Hey guys, welcome to Split. Today we are looking at the Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro. Long name, I know. They make quite a number of headphones this year, and this came out early in the year, but I'm glad I'm coming back to it because they aren't just affordable, they do tick some high-end trick boxes. Let's get into it. Okay, in the box, what do you get? You get the always faithful booklet with instructions, short USB-C cable, 2 extra ear tips to make for a total of 3, if you add the one that's already installed on the buds themselves, and a case that houses the buds themselves. This case. So the case is nothing spectacular, right? It's just your basic oval, semi-flat, slides into your pocket easily. No problem there. There's nothing fancy. It's not going to win any red dot awards like the Nothing earbuds, which is really cool, by the way. You can check out that video later. But it does have a nice gold or bronze badge outside that says Soundpeats, so you know who made it. When you pop it open, you see the earbuds themselves, and they've taken the stem design, and the stem design is typically what you would see in your AirPod Pros and the Nothing Ear 1s, like I just mentioned, or Ear 2s for that matter. I typically have, I have an age-old feud with stem designs, but we will get into that later. Let's talk about what it looks like. Externally, it's pretty basic stuff. It looks nice and simple. They added the gold or bronze accent. I think, let's stick with bronze. It's a bronze accent to match the Soundpeats logo on the case at the back, so you know what it is on the stem and then on the microphone at the top. Other than that, no other main distinctive features that you can find. They slide in all the way down into the case, and based on the scientific method for testing how strong the magnets are, they're fine. Okay, so let's talk about how they fit, right? Like I said earlier, I have history with stem designs because even though they do sit well in my ear, when I tend to try to squeeze them, if they use that pattern for controlling the music, I tend to shift the fit which I've already created, and that makes me uncomfortable, so I have to sort of fit them back in. Since that time, I have learned to be better. I think it's more my shaky, clumsy hands than the design, because you don't really need that much of a squeeze. But that's not the case here at all, for that matter. These are actually tap to control, so they do have a stem, but it's not a squeeze control at all. The fit, yeah, like I said, is good. It will stay in a workout, whether running or jogging, but I did try to do a handstand, but I felt them move a little bit. So I figure if you're doing something, maybe a flip or something that needs you to be upside down, you might feel them move a bit, but it did not fall out, good to note, but they were in there, so I had to adjust the fit after that. But for everything else, they were pretty solid. They stayed where they were meant to be. In terms of durability, these things are IPX4 rated, which means they will resist light splashes of water, but you cannot submerge them underwater or go swimming with them, they'll just die. But in a gym, you're fine. If you're a heavy sweater, it's probably still be fine. For controls, they've done theirs a bit differently. You would typically expect the tap to play or double tap to pause, or all the typical configurations you'd seen from other earbuds. This one's slightly different. So here you have a single tap for volume. So tap on the right one, take it up, tap on the left one, take it down. You have double tap to play or pause. You have triple tap for voice assistant or game mode, and then you have to hold it to skip track forward. And no, you cannot hold it on the other earbud to skip track backwards. For some reason, they think you don't need to listen to the track again. Hear it once and move on. You just simply can't go back. Maybe a software update, we'll put that feature in, but as at the time I shot this video, I couldn't go back. So let's moving on to codecs and how they sound. And this is where it sort of starts to tick some of those high-end features like I talked about for the price point it has. This thing runs the latest Bluetooth version 5.3, which is not that impressive on its own. And it does support SBC and AAC codec, so it doesn't matter whether you're Android or Apple, this will work for you. But it does support LDAC, which is a high-res codec for high-res audio, something you would typically find on your Sony handsets or your flagship Samsungs. They sort of crammed that in here for you at that 50 to 60 bucks price point, which I think is cool. Not a big deal for a lot of people in terms of hearing the sound quality. I know I rant about that quite a bit, but it is a good option to have if that's something you're into, especially as an audiophile. And that segues nicely into how they sound, right? It's a 12mm bio-coated driver, or something technical like that. I don't know what that means, but keep in mind that your drivers are what sort of push the airwaves back and forth in your earbuds to generate the sound you hear. So the better those drivers, the better your sound, the cleaner, depending how the chambers are structured. That's a whole other video. But that's what they have here. In terms of the tuning, it's tuned to feed, to lean more in favor of the mids and the bass. And that's not a bad thing because most genres do well there. But when you're trying to listen for highs, I think they tend to struggle a bit, in my opinion. But you can tweak that in the app it comes with in the EQ settings to sort of fit your listening style a bit better. But by default, that's how they seem to lean in terms of tuning. They're stronger for mids and bass. In terms of clarity when it comes to soundstage, you're not going to get AirPod quality here or XM5s, but they are decent. They're pretty okay. It's not winning any awards, like I said, but they're pretty good. Again, for the price point, what you're paying for, I think that's decent audio coming out of these buds. Another feature they tick on the cheap but good, noise canceling, right? They can cancel up to 43 decibels, I think. Again, not flagship status, but it is there. You can notice the difference. So that's a great to have. And that feeds also into your microphone when you're making calls for clearing out the noise in the background, which is very much improved here from the Air 3 I used before at some point. It is better. It's not much better, but you can hear the difference because of the new drivers that they've installed here. And the final thing it ticks for me in terms of cheap but good, this thing packs 52 hours of battery life. Yeah, impressive. So the buds themselves are 8 hours, which isn't right there at the top when you compare to something like the Samsung's 11 hours and so on. But that's pretty good. But it does cut down to about 5 hours when you turn on ANC or the high-res audio, which is totally understandable, but 52 hours of audio is pretty good. And that's it for my good but cheap, collection of features. Wrapping it up, you have noise canceling here, you have better microphone, you have high-res audio in a decent package that doesn't, break the bank so much. You guys let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Will you be buying or just ignoring? I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.